Back with another video for you today. It's Saturday, of course. It's the top 20 list, and this is my cheap summer video. Cheap summer fragrances. 20 fragrances from going down to $12 for the bottle up to $75. Niche, designer, all mixed in. If you're curious to find out, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Jumping right into it. Starting on number 20, we're going to the house of NAUTICA. And this is the only NAUTICA fragrance that I've had ever. No, I take that back. I've had and worn NAUTICA in the early 90s, but this is the one I've had since the early 2010s. This is NAUTICA VOYAGE. And NAUTICA VOYAGE is an aquatic, but an aromatic aquatic, fruity aquatic. Really a great scent actually. It's all about green apple, green notes, lotus, musk, mimosa, cedar. It's fresh, it's refreshing, it's crispy. That green apple note has got a nice crunch to it. It's a great release for as cheap as $12. You can get this for around $12 on the internet for 100 ml. Overspray it, it's not going to offend anyone. It's refreshing, it's fresh, it's perfect for summer. Number 20. Number 19, going to the house of ALVAREZ Gomez. This is AGUA Colonia Concentrada, this one right here. So you can get a 5-ounce bottle of this stuff for $30. And this is an ultra refreshing, freshy. This to me is sort of in the same ballpark as 4711 with a little more depth and legs to it. So it has a little bit better longevity, but still a very fresh, refreshing eau de cologne. This has notes of lemons, bergamot, lavender, rosemary. It's aromatic, it's citrus, so it's citrus aromatic, it's refreshing, and it's really pleasant to wear. This is something that I like as an alternative to 4711 because I get burnt out on it, because I use that so much after a shower. It's fresh and refreshing. It doesn't linger too long and all that good stuff. And this one has some unique aromatic notes. No neroli here or orange blossom. It's more the citruses and the aromatic notes of lavender and rosemary and things like that. So this is from a Spanish house, a classic house from Madrid, I believe, and it's called ALVAREZ Gomez, and this is AGUA Colonia Concentrada, number 19. Next, going to the house of Guy Fawkes, and this is called JEFE, this one right here. Now I did a video with the owner of this house on the channel. If you don't know this house, check it out because they have 6 releases, all very easy to wear, 50 ml bottles, $55 each. And check out the video to find out about the fragrances. And Guy Fawkes JEFE is a aromatic not citrus, I'm sorry, I take it back. It's probably more of like a citrus aquatic fragrance. You have mandarin orange, you have marine notes, you've got bay leaf, you also have ambergris, grapefruit, jasmine. It's a really pleasant scent. If you like aquatics, if you like it citrusy, very easy, very unisex, then check out JEFE from Guy Fawkes. And I also want to mention that the fragrances that I'm highlighting today are some targeted to men, most targeted unisex, but the ones I'm highlighting are not overly masculine, so both sexes should be able to pull off. So going back to Guy Fawkes JEFE, this is another one for you to try at number 18, so it's JEFE Guy Fawkes. Next, going to the house of LALIQUE. And this is white, which was actually featured previously on the previous video I did for Skin Sense. This is, after all, a skin scent, but a very clean skin scent. It's very musky, and it's also got lots of black pepper. And there's also a note of Petitgrain, which is the green, bitter, orange tree leaves. And then you've got bergamot, you've got tamarind notes, cedar, nutmeg, cardamom. It's a spicy, musky, citric kind of a scent. Really great. It does smell clean, and it also smells very fresh, so this is one for you to try. It's a great cheapie for about $30, and I think you can't go wrong with that price tag for 100 ml, or this one is 120 ml, but I believe the $30 price is for the 100 ml. So this is LALIQUE White at number 17, and then go into the house of GUERLAIN, and this is Vetiver Extreme. And I decided to pick Vetiver Extreme because I'm kind of bored of the original Vetiver, even though I love Vetiver, don't get me wrong, but I have the option of doing the Vetiver Extreme, might as well go with it. You can get 100 ml tester bottle I just recently saw on the discounters for $35, and I have links to both FragranceNet and Fragrance X in the info box. If you want to buy any of these, you can click the links and go there. This is all about vetiver, incense, tarragon, artemisia, black pepper, licorice. So this is more of a licoricey take on the original Vetiver Extreme. And if you like vetiver, you're getting bored of it from Guerlain, check out the Vetiver Extreme. I think it's definitely worth a try. And it's a little, I'm not saying not fresher, but it's about the same kind of density and I guess concentration of the original, but just that unique twist to the original Vetiver from Guerlain is a great touch here. So this is Vetiver Extreme, and it is at number 16. Number 15, going to the house of Calvin Klein. This is CK2. This is pretty much the only Calvin Klein fragrance I have in my collection, but I want to get back into exploring the house. It was one of my favorite designer houses when I was growing up, with Obsession for Man, Calvin Klein the original, Eternity, and all that good stuff. But of course I also wore CK1. This came out several years ago, and it is a very pleasant fragrance. It's a very clean fragrance, very musky and cologne-y. Cologne as in the synthetic molecule that smells like aquatic marine notes and things like that. So this has notes of Pebbles, violet leaf, wasabi, vetiver, mandarin orange, cologne, as I mentioned, pear. There's a little bit of rose in there. It's very fresh, it's very clean. It smells a bit synthetic, but kind of going into the direction of maybe something like eccentric molecules and things like that. So it's a very unique smell, and I do enjoy it. So if you want an expensive cheapie that's kind of aquatic, and it's also very unisex, obviously, because Calvin Klein CK1 and CK2 are known to be what do you call it, unisex fragrances. So a very pleasant one to try. I wear this one a lot to the gym, and it works great in the gym. So this is CK2 from Calvin Klein. Next, going to the house of ADOLFO Dominguez. This is the second designer from Spain. Well, the first one wasn't a designer. This is a designer, second Spanish brand. This is Agua Fresca. Now this one I really fell in love with quite a long time ago, and I really like the fact that it's very aromatic and citrusy. So you've got Petitgrain, got lavender, vetiver, marjoram, pine, bergamot. Very refreshing, a bit maybe classic leaning for younger noses, but if you like aromatic, citrus, spicy kind of notes, you're gonna like this one. And you can get a 4-ounce bottle like this for about $25. So very inexpensive. And as I said, these are all inexpensive fragrances that I've been wearing for the longest time, and the only ones I'm recommending here for you guys that are ones that are definitely proven to be quality. So, and again, if you want to pick up any of these, I have links in the info box. So this is Agua Fresca again. If you don't know this house, this is a good house from Spain. They have lots of different releases. They don't have a lot of hype in the USA or on YouTube for the fragrances, but definitely worth a try. They also have a vetiver that kind of comes in a similar bottle like this. That's also a great release. So this is ADOLFO Dominguez Agua Fresca at number 14. Next, going to the house of Banana Republic. And Banana Republic, I'm obsessed with their fragrances for the quality, for their price. Especially if you go to their outlet stores and buy them, because their $48 fragrances are half price at the outlet stores. It's a 75 ml bottle for 24 bucks. You can't go wrong with them. And the fragrances are amazing. Great quality fragrances. So I have 3 Banana Republic fragrances on this video. They beat the Ferrari fragrances, guys. If you are a fan of Ferrari fragrances, please do check out the Banana Republic fragrances, because their quality is much better than what the Ferrari fragrances are. That's just my testing and observation, and the smells and all that good stuff. Anyway, number 13 is 90 Pure. This is the first of the 3. This is 90 Pure White. And this one also was featured with my skin scents video. It is a skin scent after all, because it's musky, and there's a lot of grapefruit, there's bergamot, there's jasmine, there's tea. It's very clean, it's fresh. It's for those that want nothing overwhelming, because sometimes during the summer it's hot, it's humid, and sometimes scents can be overwhelming. Then you go with something like this. This is clean. Pure White refers to clean, and you wear something like this and just be refreshed, and it's great. And for 24 bucks, if you can get it at their outlet stores, it's really inexpensive. But even 48 bucks direct from the Banana Republic store or website is pretty inexpensive for a 75 ml bottle. Niche quality. So this is Banana Republic's 90 Pure White at number 13. We got another Guerlain coming up. It's Guerlain's Homme Le Boisé, this one right here. This is another, I had it in the previous bottle, I gave it away, and I picked up another one. This is a tester, and I found it for about 35 bucks on the internet at FragranceNet, and which I have a link in the info box for. Now this one is all about lime. It's a very, very fresh take on vetiver, because it's all about vetiver again. You got lime. It's a juicy, big, very, very kind of drippy, citric lime note with lots of vetiver, almost as equal amounts of vetiver as the lime, but the lime I think overpowers it a little bit, but they're almost identically balanced. Then you also have some woody notes, then some green grass notes, mint, geranium, very, very refreshing, very great scent. And I'm glad the bottles are now uniform. They used to be in a more rectangular bottle, and I'm glad they all match now. As you saw the previous Vetiver Extreme. But if you like a different take on vetiver, again, this is totally different than the last Vetiver Extreme. It's not even in the name vetiver. It's Homme Le Boisé is what this one's called. Do check it out. And for 35 bucks for 100 ml, you can overspray and be done with it for the day, because it's a really, really fresh take on vetiver. So this is Guerlain Homme Le Boisé at number 12. At number 11 is one of my inexpensive fragrances that I've had since I started getting into doing videos. I picked it up about 2013. It's a classic from the early 90s. It's a design house that no one even talks about. It's EMANUEL Ungaro Pour l'Homme 3, this one right here. Now this one's all about rose with a vodka note. So you've got rose balanced with vodka. It's very fresh, it's refreshing, but not a wimp when it comes to freshness. There's some depth to it. You also have aromatic notes in here of lavender and geranium, and then you have a woody note of sandalwood for a very unique fragrance experience with rose and vodka and lavender and geranium. Kind of has a styling of Aventus to me, whereas we're replacing the pineapple with rose and throwing in some, of course, vodka in there. It's very, very fresh, but with legs. So if you like a unique twist on fragrances with vodka, rose, lavender, and all that good stuff, check out EMANUEL Ungaro's Ungaro Pour l'Homme 3. And this one you can get for about $20 and under, and expensive for 100 ml. I think it's totally worth it, especially for those of you guys that like inexpensive fragrances. This is definitely a quality release. So at number 10, going to the house of Rocha, and this is Eau de Rocha Homme, this one right here. Again, this is one's targeted to men. The previous one was also targeted to men, but both sexes should be able to pull it off. There's nothing overly butch about this fragrance. This is all very, very fresh and refreshing. It's all about lemon. It's all about lime. You've also got lemongrass, bergamot. So think very, very fresh and refreshing citruses. And then you have this like nice, sparkling, effervescent aldehydic note thrown in with some interesting woody oak moss, slightly kind of bordering patchouli, and you also have some vetiver. So those notes are there. They're not as prominent as the lemon and the lime and the lemongrass and the bergamot. So it's an ultra fresh fragrance. And as I said, it's very, very unisex, slightly masculine leaning, but I think both sexes should be able to pull it off. It's a great, great citrus. It's a designer house from France that I'm not even sure if they're making clothes anymore, but the fragrances are pretty darn good. And Rocha Eau de Rocha Homme is a classic from the early 90s. So this is Rocha Eau de Rocha Homme. It sells for about $30 for 100 ml. It's totally worth it, I think. So that's at number 10. Next, we're going to the house of LALIQUE, and we've got a fragrance called Encre Noire Sport. And this one is the fresher take on the original Encre Noire. You still have traces of the original Encre Noire vetiver in there. It's dark, but then it's nicely balanced out with a big blast of juicy grapefruit. So it's vetiver, it's grapefruit, it's very unique. You have some cypress thrown in there, you've got some bergamot, and there's also this watery note in here that's just water, not aquatic marine notes or things like that. Just a watery touch to it. There's a little bit of lavender. You can find bottles for anywhere about $30 to $35 on the internet for 100 ml, so it's totally worth it. As I said, if you're on a budget with your fragrances, these are great. Now these fragrances I am pushing for summer, but I think these are also fragrances you can wear all year round. This one also hints at the discontinued, very, very awesome vetiver fragrance from the house of Annick Goutal that was around for a long time. It got discontinued probably like 5 years ago. But if you are on the hunt for the Annick Goutal vetiver, or you like vetiver that's with citruses, definitely check out LALIQUE Encre Noire Sport at number 9. Next, going to the House of Banana Republic once again. As I said, I have 3 fragrances from this house here, and this is the second of the 3, and this is Neroli Woods. This, now, if you like the Neroli from Bright and Rolly from Ferrari, definitely check this one out, because this one kicks its booty. This is so awesome. This is a great scent, especially, as I said, if you can find this at the outlet store, the Banana Republic outlet store, for 24 bucks, it's totally worth it. When I visit my mom in the Sacramento area, up there near the Folsom Lake area, there's outlet stores there, and there's Banana Republic outlet store there. I go once in a while, and I do find these there for 24 bucks. A whole collection is there. Now, they're not all the time there, but sometimes they are there. Different ones are there. Last time I was there, the Oud was there, and a couple of the others. I think the Leather, and then one more. So these are definitely available at discounts, but this one is a very, very awesome Neroli fragrance. You got Neroli, you got Cedar, Petitgrain, Sandalwood, Orange Blossom, and solar notes of all things. It's so good. It's like one of the better Banana Republic fragrances from that collection that came out that's similar to these bottles, including the 90 Pure White, and I have one more coming up on the list. But if you like Neroli, definitely check this one out. This is Neroli Woods from Banana Republic at number 8. Next, going to the House of Burberry, and this is a very, very great release from this house. It's called Mr. Burberry Indigo, and I came onto this one pretty late, and I'm obsessed with the fact that it's such a fresh and refreshing fragrance. It's a citric aromatic fragrance again. We've got lots of aromatic notes. We've got mint, lots of mint. This is a mint bomb. If you like it minty, definitely check it out. But it's not mint like toothpaste. It's real fresh, dried mint. You've also got rosemary, you got lemon, you got violet, oak moss, watery notes. There's the watery notes again. We got a lot of watery notes in this list of fragrances. It's a great one, and you can get this in the discounters for about 40 bucks. So it is really, really a great fragrance. If I had to pick my favorite from the Mr. Burberry series, I would go with this one. This one is probably the better one of the 3. I just love the way it smells. Fresh and refreshing, perfect for summer, but perfect for all year round. And this is, again, Mr. Burberry Indigo from Burberry. At number 7, next going to the House of Talia Sodi, and this is Liquid Sun right here. So Liquid Sun, or actually Talia Sodi is an actress, and this is not a designer release, this is a celebrity fragrance that's just been launched at Macy's stores. You can get them for suggested retail $58 for 100 ml, but they do have sales. I saw it on Macy's recently that it's available for $10 less, so $48 for 100 ml, some kind of a promotion. But I featured this one here because I'm obsessed with Neroli, and the only reason also it's at very high here because it compares to a very expensive designer release from Louis Vuitton called Sun Song. So if you like Sun Song from Louis Vuitton, definitely check out Liquid Sun. What's the deal with this one? There's musk, there's Neroli, there's Frangipani, there's mandarin oranges, or mandarin leaves, not oranges, mandarin leaves, solar notes, and it's a very sunny, sunshiny, a slight bit coconutty Neroli fragrance. It's to die for. I think the Frangipani in here, the flower, adds a kind of a coconutty touch to the fragrance, but the Neroli is amped up. And it, like I said, it compares to the Louis Vuitton Sun Song. It's not identical. It comes close. The Louis Vuitton does outperform this because the concentration is definitely much more prominent, like longevity-wise. But for 48 bucks for 100 ml, you can. I mean, 100 ml of the Louis Vuitton is $260 plus tax. This is 48 bucks or 50 bucks approximately for 100 ml. So check it out, compare it, and see what I'm talking about because they smell similar. Again, Louis Vuitton performs much better, but if you want a cheaper alternative, go with the Talia Sodi Liquid Sun. And that is at number 6. And the top 5, we're going to the House of Guy Fawkes once again, and it's Mara, this one right here. Now, if you haven't seen that video of Guy Fawkes that I did with the owner of Guy Fawkes, check it out to learn about these fragrances. This is a San Francisco house, fragrance house, and their fragrances are all unisex targeted, and they're all 55 bucks for 50 ml bottles. You can just order directly off their website. Mara is a very fresh and refreshing take on grapefruit, rosemary, black pepper with mandarin orange and musk. It's clean, it's fresh, it's refreshing. The rosemary and the grapefruit totally stand out. It's got a little bit of spiciness from that black pepper, and it's very, very musky. It's a very, very clean, fresh fragrance that you can definitely enjoy in the summertime or all year round. So if you don't know know Mara, do check it out. This is from the House of Guy Fawkes. It's 55 bucks. Next, going to the House of Taos. This is Taos Man Sport. And this is the bottle right here. Here we have a very, very inexpensive fragrance that you can find testers of for 20 bucks. Now this one is very, very fresh and sunshiny. There's aldehydes notes, so it comes off a bit like aquatic, but not necessarily. So it does have this kind of aquatic vibe, but it's very aldehydic, it's very effervescent, it's sparkly, it's sunshiny, it's beautiful. I just get the sunshine. It's like sports, like I get water sports outside with the pools and beaches and lakes and things like that. Just people enjoying time in the water is what I get when I see this bottle. It just, that's my visual. But it's very, very fresh, refreshing, lemon, ginger, aldehydes, apple, cedar, and for $20 for a tester, it's an amazing fragrance. You just overspray because it doesn't have the best performance, but if you overspray, you get some great, great smelling fragrance here. So that is Taos Man Sport at number 4. At number 3, going to the House of Dunhill with Dunhill Icon, and Icon is one of the best designer releases as of late. Came out in 2015, 4 years ago. It's an awesome release with neroli, bergamot, black pepper, lavender, cardamom, vetiver, juniper, petitgrain. It's Terre de Hermes's more citric, woody, I guess I would call it a neroli, a petitgrain brother or something, because it's got like hints of Terre de Hermes in there, but it's a lot of neroli and petitgrain thrown in as well. It's a very, very great fragrance. This one is about 40 bucks for 100 ml and totally worth it. It's very, very classy, it's fresh. You know, it reminds me of some niche fragrances as well, so that's another reason why it's way up there on the list. So at number 3, Dunhill Icon, totally worth the price tag here. At number 2, going to the House of Essential Parfums, and this is Nice Bergamot, this one right here. Now this is the priciest fragrance I've thrown in there. It's 75 bucks. That's why we did this from $12 to 75 bucks. And it's a great, great bergamot. It's a juicy, fresh, refreshing bergamot. It's a great, great release. You've got bergamot, jasmine, ylang ylang, cedar, fresh, ultra, ultra fresh fragrance. And just overspray the stuff because it smells so good. Essential Parfums, I did a video about them. Check them out. They're niche fragrances, sold at Lucky Scent, and they're 75 bucks for a bottle, 100 ml. Totally worth the price of great, fresh smelling fragrances. So Essential Parfums, Nice Bergamot at number 2. And did I say I had 3 Banana Republic fragrances? Can you guess which one it is? It is 78 Vintage Green. This is my favorite summer cheapie. And you guys, like I said, these are, for me, they rate much higher compared to the Ferrari fragrances because I find them to be a lot more quality, and they have the more niche styling than the Ferraris, and the Ferraris are just very inexpensive smelling to me. 78 Vintage Green is all about fig leaves and fig fruit. So you've got lots of green notes, fig leaves, a fruit, and it's a very, very fresh fragrance, like ultra fresh, ultra green, a bit fruity, a bit floral, really, really wonderful release. And this is the kind of stuff I like to wear in the summertime. Overspray it, smell great, it's fun, it's happy, it's just a lively fragrance, and I really, really enjoy it. It's also very, very green, as I said. The leaves are not so prominent. I think there's more green notes thrown in rather than the fig leaves, and it's more about the fruit here, but a wonderful release. Again, you can find these at the outlet stores, as I was saying, for about 24, 25 bucks for a 75 ml bottle. But if you go to the Banana Republic store, they're 48 bucks. Still inexpensive. If you make it to the outlet stores, definitely go and check out and see if there's a Banana Republic outlet store and get it for 24 bucks, because they are really inexpensive. I can't guarantee that they're always going to be there, but I see them all the time when I'm at the Banana Republic outlet when I visit family. Anyway, that's my number 1 choice. 78 Vintage Green by Banana Republic at number 1. Anyway guys, this is my summer cheapie list. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Do you like to wear inexpensive cheap fragrances, or are you more into the more expensive releases? I'm a sucker for deals. I like to get deals. If I find a quality fragrance that's inexpensive, I'm going to talk about it. I love paying the least amount of money for my fragrances, and sometimes there's some great ones that are inexpensive out there. I know sometimes the inexpensive fragrances don't come off as quality as the more expensive ones, but the ones I'm recommending here are definitely on the quality side. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any recommendations or suggestions for cheapies, please put them down so I'd find out for future videos. If you like any of these fragrances and you have them, also let me know because I'd like to find out. Other than that, guys, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.